My name is Dominick Hyatt, and I am at the Lime Rock Historic Festival 43 Concours with my one-off Gemballa E30 special. This is a E30 that was run over by Gemballa. Some say ruined, some say beautified. I always like to say it's horrendously beautiful. It features a 15-inch than normal wider body, so it's half an inch narrower than a brand new F250. It can fit 345s in the rear and 285s in the front, so the same tires as a Countach, literally the same rubber. Has a bigger cam in it, has better injectors, long tube headers, makes it a little bit of a rowdy beast. It's from 85, so it's pre-M3. They finished it in 86 when they VIN'd it. So it makes a close to M3 power, but it has still the inline six, not the S14. So I found this car kind of by accident. It was a case of the right place at the right time. I was out with my dad and some family friends. We were going to an event and happened to drive past this little itty bitty vintage BMW dealership, and I saw it through the showroom and I was like, what is that car? What is that thing? And I knew about Gemballa from seeing it in racing games. I was not too long after the one wrecked in Times Square, the Mirage GT, during COVID. So I knew the name was in the forefront, but I had no clue what this was. So it was late at night and I actually was still working night shift at the time. So I was up for almost 24 hours when I saw the car, and I thought it was some, Oasis type of thing. So I did a ton of research into the car and could only find photos that were posted from the dealership. So there was almost no information. It was really kind of a ghost. And that was a Saturday night. On Monday, Valentine's Day in 22, I showed up at the shop and I told the guy, I'm like, hey, I'm here. I have a check for a down deposit. I want to see the car. And he wasn't there. Normally his hours were 10 to 4 and he wasn't there. So he's like, well, the wife wants me to do some Valentine's Day stuff with her, but I'll see if she lets me come out. So he comes out an hour and a half later. I hand him check in cash for a down payment, and I say, I want to go take the car on a test drive. And took it on a test drive, and 2 weeks later, after finding every favor, selling things I didn't need, I drove the car home in the snow. And then ever since then, I've put 22,000 miles on it in 3.5 years. Driven it to Miami for Moto Miami, where the car belongs. I've driven it up to Long Island, and I drive it up to Lime Rock every year from Pennsylvania for the show. My favorite part is, so if you ever see any other wide-body cars, from era, modern, one of the few things Gemballa did that no one else did is the filler neck. It actually comes all the way out to the body kit. It's not recessed in the original factory position like almost every other wide body car. So if you look at an RWB, you look at a Koenig Special or an LTO, ask them, you'll see the filler neck is still in the original position, and they actually brought this up using the OEM filler neck and cap and all of that stuff to make it look correct. So this was in 22, it was best import in Radwood, Philly. I beat a couple Panteras and Diablos, which was really interesting. Those are always, my dream cars, and being able to beat those was the coolest thing ever. The young guy, so 25 now, 22 when I had the car. And it's just like living life in a movie. I mean, every time I turn around, I see all the people I meet and the interesting connections I get to make. It's really like living in a movie every day, and it just makes me smile that I get blessed to be able to do it. And I try to share with kids, so if I see kids at shows, I try to throw them in the car, because I grew up doing that. I was blessed. I got my senior photos in a real Lotus Formula One car and an XR7 Cougar and GT40. So it's really been my life. My dad's been racing since the 80s. My mom used to work on Morgans in the 90s. So I was doomed from the start to love cars, and I really want to pass that passion on to other people. So I try to use this as a way to help facilitate that too.